presentation of Fox Sports.
We are Fox. We are Minnesota.
From Target Field, the Twins and Indians finally get a chance to play the opening game of their now two-game series. A rarity here last night. The weather too miserable to play baseball. It rained all through the late afternoon and into the evening. So last night's game postponed. The Twins, hoping to overcome injuries and win another division title. They've got Justin Morneau back in the lineup this afternoon, so a step in the right direction. And who'd have believed that the Cleveland Indians in first place in the American League Central, off to a very good start. They right now are the team to beat, and the Twins looking up at four teams in the American League Central, and that too an odd sight to see a couple of weeks into the season. And while the skies haven't cleared, it has stopped raining. We'll have baseball today. Hall of Famer Burt Blyleven along with Dick Bramer. The Twins hoping to take on a Cleveland team and show once again that they're the class of the division.
Well, this is only April, Dick, but you know what? For the month of April, good for the Cleveland Indians. They're off to a very good start, but at the top, you see, that's where the finish was last year. 94 wins for the Twins. Of course, you see Cleveland way under 500. Good start for the Indians, but again, it's April. Here this afternoon, you see how the Cleveland Indians have done it. They scored a lot of runs, 99 runs. First in the American League. They have been getting outstanding starting pitching, and their bullpen has really held up nicely. So this ball club on a roll. That off day last night might have hurt the Indians more than it did the Twins.
Well, the Twins have scuffled to score runs, obviously, and when they've won, and they haven't won nearly enough to suit their own taste, they've had low-scoring ball games, and their starting pitcher's done a good job.
Yeah, Brian Dunsing on the mound. He was scheduled last night, so Rick Anderson, you're out there again. Why? He's 3-0 in the three starts that he's made. Now, he's 1-0 record-wise, but he is 2-0 lifetime against the Indians. Beat them twice last year, one in Cleveland, one here. Brian Dunsing's all about making adjustment. Hopefully he'll make the adjustment and throw a good ball game here this afternoon.
Well, throughout most of the last road trip, the Twins had to play without their established middle of the lineup one by one. They hope to get their regular players back. Barney Gellner will have an update when we come back. Sports North is brought to you by your local Northland Ford dealers. Visit your local Northland Ford dealer or go to northlandford.com. And by Menards. Save big money on all your home improvement needs at Menards.
After the rainout last night, the Twins have still only played 5 home games this season. They are happy to be back and playing at Target Field today. Hi again, everyone. I'm Marnie Gellner. And there's no question Minnesota has struggled out of the gates. The bats have been slow to come around. The runs haven't exactly been plentiful. But the Twins are dealing with the effects of a major shakeup in the lineup. When you look at the batting order from opening day, and in particular the 2 through 5 hitters, Nishioka showed great promise, hitting .346 in Japan. Joe Mauer won another batting title. Justin Morneau was back in a groove, hitting .345. And Delman Young drove in 112 runs last year. Those 2, 3, 4, and 5 hitters, though, have missed a lot of games this season due to injury and sickness. Our Sanford Health injury report has Nishioka and Mauer still on the disabled list, but both improving. Delman Young took some BP yesterday and today, says he's still a little sore, but should be ready to go tomorrow. Justin Morneau is the best news of all 4. He is in the lineup today, batting cleanup and playing first base. So we will have the first pitch for the Twins and Indians for you next.
Their lineup featured some of baseball's best players, and together they won 6 division titles in 7 years. As a new century began, they remained constant contenders. But recently, injuries have taken their toll in Cleveland, and the rebuilding process began. This year, they're back on top, but can they sustain it? Today, the Twins get their first look at the surprising Indians, and it's next on Fox Sports North. And Justin Morneau back in the lineup and back at first base as the Twins hope to return to health and return to prominence in the American League Central. Indians got a key player back, not right away at the start of the season, but a few games in, and Grady Sizemore looks like the Grady Sizemore of old. Here's the Menards batting order for Manny-Acton. Grady Sizemore is their leadoff hitter. Asdrubal Cabrera hitting second. Then Shin-Soo Choo, Carlos Santana. Travis Hafner's shoulder is fine, and he's swinging the bat well. Orlando Cabrera, the former Twin. Michael Brantley, Matt Laporta, and Jack Hanahan.
And on the mound here this afternoon, it will be Brian Dunsing making his 4th start. The Twins are 3-0 in his starts. Brian Dunsing 1-0 on the year. Best suited starter maybe in the Twins rotation for this type of weather. Again, Dunsing from Omaha, grew up in that area, went to the University of Nebraska. He's used to pitching in cold weather. This afternoon, pitchers will be able to blow on their hands and hopefully keep those hands warm so the ball doesn't slip out.
The Northland Ford defense for the Twins. Denard Span flanked by a pair of Jasons. Danny Valencia, Alexi Casilla left side of the infield. Michael Kadire, Justin Morneau on the right side. Drew Butera behind the plate. And for at least one more day, Delman Young held out of the lineup. Jason Repko is in it. Now the Twins do have an off day on Monday, so it might very well be that Young will be given the benefit of tomorrow off as well and then be ready to go on Tuesday, but that remains to be seen. Grady Sizemore takes down and away, ball 1.
Yeah, Sizemore just activated off the disabled list on April 17th, so he's been someone that had missed almost all of last year. Recovering from the left knee surgery.
Up high, 2-0. Jumped back into the lineup, and in his second at bat hit a home run. His only one of the year. 2-0. And now 3-0 with Cabrera on deck.
Well, Dunsing making his 4th start. This is for Dunsing his 4th start against the Cleveland Indians.
Dunsing with 6 walks and 20 innings pitched. And he knows that with Sizemore speed and leading off an inning, he didn't want to issue a walk here. 3-1. On one hop to Kadire. 1 down. Cool and maybe a little bit raw, but we aren't anticipating any more precipitation. The game last night, just the second postponed game in Target Field history.
Yeah, last year against the Orioles, the game was postponed, then made up a day-night doubleheader the following day.
And the second postponement already this young season. Remember, the Twins lost a game in New York, and the date for that makeup game has not been established. Here's Asdrubal Cabrera. Indians with a couple of Cabreras in their middle infield. The former Twin Orlando Cabrera now at second base. 1 strike. Pitch left up and fouled, straight back 0-2.
Asdrubal Cabrera in his 5th season with the Indians. Career .284 hitter, hitting .333 as a right-handed hitter so far this year. 2 of his 4 home runs coming from this side of the plate.
He's not known as a home run hitter, but he's jumped up pretty quickly to, along with Hafner, share the team lead. It's a high fly to left. And Repko retreats for the catch-out number 2. Twins baseball brought to you this afternoon in Sony High Definition. A couple of outs, and Shin-Soo Choo comes to the plate. Mentioned that the pitcher's able to blow into their hands. They can do that on the mound now. They a year ago changed that. Can lick their fingers on the mound.
As long as you wipe off.
As long as you wipe off.
Yeah, Choo off to a slow start. Someone that last year hit 22 home runs, drove in 90 runs, and hit an even 300, hitting .203 coming into this at bat. Does have a couple home runs.
Liner, and Casilla snags it. And Dunsing has a 1-2-3 first inning on 10 pitches. Gardenhire to include Justin Morneau in the lineup today. The Menards batting order for the Twins in the series opener. Denard Span leading off, then Jason Repko, Jason Kubel, Morneau back in the lineup, and at first base, Michael Kanider, Jim Thome, Danny Valencia, Drew Butera, and Alexi Casilla.
And on the mound this afternoon, it'll be Fausto Carmona making his 5th start. He's been lights out over his last 3 starts, 1-1 with a 1.25 earned run average. When he's on, he'll get a lot of ground ball outs.
And Span on the box, and here we go. There is strike 1. He was not on opening day. The White Sox cuffed him around, hung 10 earned runs on him over 3 innings. And then since then, as you said, been lights out. Sinker down and away, 1-1.
Carmona, big guy, 6'4", about 230 in his 6th season with the Indians, an all-star for the Indians last year. Does have some control problems throughout his career, but so far so good. Only 7 walks for Carmona in almost 25 innings pitched.
Now, I don't remember him last year pitching way over on the first base side of the rubber, but he is right on the very corner, at least to a left-handed batter, way over on one side of the rubber.
Well, he's got such a good sinking fastball. You know, he's a big man, so he'll come right at you, and his delivery very aggressive. You know, we had Jeremy Guthrie the other day that has that bulldog type of look on the mound. This guy does too, especially when he attacks like that.
A roller to second and an easy play for Orlando Cabrera. Span retired, 1 away. Northland Ford defense for the Indians. Michael Brantley, Grady Sizemore, Shin-Soo Choo in the outfield. They really wanted to improve their infield defense, and they've done that with former Gopher Jack Hanahan at third, Cabrera at second, Cabrera at short, and Matt Laporta at first. And one of the best young catchers, Carlos Santana, behind the plate. You saw Orlando Cabrera changing positions from shortstop to second base.
They say you do an outstanding job here in Cleveland.
1-0 to Jason Repko. You know, one of the reasons they wanted to tighten up their infield defense, they've got a pitching staff made up of guys like Carmona, Masterson, sinker ball pitchers. So they really felt that the pitchers would benefit an awful lot by having better infield defense.
And they said Jack Hanahan over at third base has been playing very good defense at third.
A bunt foul, 1-1. Hanahan, Twin Cities native out of Cretin-Derham Hall, University of Minnesota. Bounced around a number of different organizations, and he's been a big part of the Cleveland quick start. Down and away, 2-1.
Well, he's kind of hoping to do what Casey Blake did. Remember Casey Blake, kind of with the Twins, then Baltimore, back with the Twins. Finally went to Cleveland, had some great years. Now he's out in L.A. with the Dodgers.
3-1 with Jason Kubel on deck. Molitor out of Cretin High School here at the game today. Three and 1 to Repko, and he lost him. Every once in a while, Carmona struggles with that control, and he issues a walk to put Repko aboard.
Another St. Paul native, Jack Morris here.
And if we look hard enough, we might find Dave Winfield here too. I don't think so. Here's Kubel. Carmona's had much better numbers against left-handed batters than right-handed batters so far this year, but the Twins will send a pair of lefties up next, Kubel and then Morneau.
Yeah, Kubel, very good numbers against Carmona. 13 hits and 36 at-bats. A .361 batting average with 3 home runs.
Down and away, 1-1.
There are the numbers for Kubel against Fausto Carmona.
Checked his swing and took a ball, 2-1. Flashed foul, 2-2. Not just for Carmona, but the Indians' rotation and the bullpen all very, very good so far this year. Tim Belcher says the key is they're throwing more strikes.
Yeah, third in the American League in team ERA, and the starters are 10-4. Relievers are third in the American League in that department as far as ERA.
Tapper towards second. Repko will move to second, and Kubal's ground ball. And Justin Morneau back in the lineup, even though he'll admit he's not 100%.
It was rough. Still a little weak, but we're good enough to play. So I think it probably helps. We got a little shorter day today, so no BP on the field and everything. So conserve a little bit more energy. Hopefully get back in the swing of things quickly, and that's it. Hopefully it's all behind us.
The Indians did take batting practice, and Morneau back in the lineup with a chance to drive in a run. Repko at second, 2 away. Wouldn't imagine this would be the type of guy you'd want to jump back into the lineup against. He's got some pretty nasty stuff that moves all the time.
But you know what? I mean, his sinker moves away from Justin, and Justin struggled so far this year, hitting only 208. When we see him at his best, hits a lot of balls the other way. So if he can leave one of those sinkers up a little bit, hopefully Justin will start hitting down toward left center and down that left field line. That's usually when that average starts to rise. We see it, of course, Joe Mauer, 3-time batting champ, he lives that way. Rod Carew lived that way. But Justin, a power hitter, he wants to drive the ball. Sometimes he gets pull happy.
We don't have to tell you about Morneau's weight loss. You can tell just by looking at him. He's lost a significant amount of weight. So too Joe Mauer. Joe on the disabled list. Morneau able to stay off the disabled list. 1-2. And he lifts it foul down the left field line.
Yeah, it looked like the slider right there. Again, Carmona, when he's on, he'll get a lot of ground ball out. So far, the 2 outs on ground balls. From the Dominican Republic, he doesn't like this cold weather. I can guarantee you that. Where Brian Dunsing, I think, Dunsing's used to it. He grew up in Omaha.
1-2. Hey, I was born in St. Paul, too. I'm not real fond of this. I wish it were 20 degrees warmer. Twins trying to get a first inning run here. All it would take would be a hit to the outfield. And now it's 2-2.
Carmona making his 15th career start against the Twins. He first came up in 2006 with the Indians, basically out of that bullpen. Just don't know what you're going to get from him year in and year out. He's had a 19-game win season. Last year, 13 wins.
High and deep to the left field corner. Chased by Brantley. He makes the catch short of the warning track. Twins leave Repko at second. No score after an inning. pair. Bundled up. They've got blankets, stocking caps. Just nice to be able to play. And the Twins have played the fewest home games of any team in baseball, and they got rained out last night. So this is just the 6th home game of the season. Here's Carlos Santana, and Dunsing hits the outside corner, strike one. Santana, Hafner, and Orlando Cabrera facing Brian Dunsing in the second. Just off the outside corner, 1-1.
Yeah, Santana, switch hitter, hitting .273 from the right side. One of his 2 home runs from the side of the plate.
Dunsing with an off-speed pitch that missed, 2-1.
Santana coming off left knee surgery last year. Indians very high on this young man, 25 years old, from the Dominican Republic. Came over from the Dodger organization in the Casey Blake trade.
Three and one. Travis Hafner on deck. Dunsing fell behind Sizemore in the first, came back to get him on a ground ball. And now a foul ball filling the count. Well, for as long as Santana plays for the Indians anyway, at least he'll know where his paycheck is coming from. If he were still with the Dodgers, who knows where the paychecks are going to be coming from.
Sad thing that's going on with the Dodgers. I grew up in L.A. They were the model franchise of all of baseball. The O'Malley family.
Major League Baseball taking over the management of the Dodgers, and would just seem logical to conclude that team will be sold here shortly. Full count to Santana, leading off the Cleveland second. To center, hit right at Span. One down. And Upper Midwest native Travis Hafner, a big part of the Cleveland Indian quick start.
We stress winning a lot this spring, and it's been important to get off to a good start, and I think from there just builds confidence, and we're just having a lot of fun, and we're a pretty confident bunch right now.
Yeah, it's nice to hear, Dick. I mean, guys, you go to spring training, everybody's tied. You always think, we're going to have a really good year. Cleveland needs a good year. They've been frustrated over the last, decade, really. And, Manny Acta in his second season as manager, trying to bring in that winning attitude. It helps when you start off strong.
Remember the 2001 season. The Twins got off to a quick start, and the Indians had that veteran-laden team, and they ended up catching and passing the Twins. And Doug Mankiewicz, who was the first baseman for the Twins, said when the Indians had passed them for good, you'd better enjoy this one because it won't happen for a while, meaning the Twins were going to take control of the division, which they have, but also suggesting that the Indians might be in for some lean times with the ownership change, and that's exactly how that's played out. It has been a long drought for the Indians. 2-1 to Hafner.
Well, nobody more frustrated than Travis Hafner, too. He was a big part of why Jim Thome didn't come back, because of this, what they call pronk right here, Travis Hafner, because of his potential. He's just been injured the last couple of years. The right shoulder just hasn't been 100%. Tough to play the game, and we've seen it with the Twins players. If you're not 100%.
Ability important, just about as important as durability. And the Indians have had problems with that. Dunsing with a sinker down and in. Gets a strikeout, 5 up, 5 down, and Tim Laudner, a good start for Brian Dunsing.
Very good start. Brian Dunsing's developing a bit of a pattern about starting off ball games with maybe not quite being sharp as he wants to be. Maybe not as sharp with his location on his fastball, or as sharp with his breaking ball or changeup. The next thing you know, he throws 100 pitches and gets you well into the 7th inning.
Yeah, you know what, Timmy, and that's what I said. He makes the adjustment well, and that's what we see from Carl Pavano. Guys that aren't going to blow somebody away with a 95-mile-an-hour fastball, they have to become pitchers.
Punch to left, and it'll die in front of Repko for a 2-out single for Orlando Cabrera. The 1,967th hit of his career.
Yeah, Cabrera played in 59 ball games for the Twins a couple of years ago. Hit .289. He's always been a good hitter. So he gets the first hit of the ball game for either side.
Here's Michael Brantley with Cabrera at first and 2 away. And a first pitch strike.
Yeah, Brantley started the season in center field. When Grady Sizemore was activated, he moved over to the left. Trevor Crowe ended up getting right shoulder surgery, so his season's probably done. So it's nice to have a young man like Brantley, who was playing great center field, now in left field. Only 23 years old.
Just off the inside corner, 1-1. And Brantley, a work in progress. They're trying to get him to be a little more aggressive at the plate, swinging earlier in the count. He has always had kind of a Denard Span approach to try to work the count a little bit, get deep into the count.
He's a guy that gets on base, steals some bases, and steal a base right there is Orlando Cabrera.
Tough pitch for Butera to handle on the throw off target, and Cabrera steals second.
11 stolen base on the year for the Indians. They've been caught 4 times. And a good pitch to go on right here. Had a great jump on a pitch down and away. Butera, like you mentioned, had really no chance to get him as Cabrera gets into scoring position. So Cabrera steals his first base of the year in 2 attempts.
Twins got a runner to second, left him in the first. Dunsing will try to leave Cabrera at second, and Brantley chops it to short. Casilla, close play. Brantley getting down the line, but it's the third out and a scoreless second for Cleveland.
Chilly afternoon at Target Field. Game time temp today is 43 degrees, but these are a big help. The additional radiant heaters that the Twins installed in the offseason, there are 130 more radiant heaters this year than there were last year. And you'll find people like these friends of mine here staying warm underneath the heat lamps. They're all around the concourse, all throughout Target Field. And even though there are hand warmers and hats and blankets and everything like that, Dick and Bert, to keep the fans warm, you'll find them huddled under the radiant heaters all throughout the ballpark. They're needed this afternoon. Let's hope we don't need them too many more times this season.
Yeah, but isn't that another nice feature here at Target Field?
They didn't have those at Met Stadium?
No, we sat on our hands a lot.
Cuddyer swings and misses twice. 0-2 from Fausto Carmona. Will be Cuddyer, Tomey, and Valencia.
Some heaters in the dugout, keeping the players warm, and the security people.
1-2. And it's going to be colder than this. This is 43. We're going to be playing games here in the low 30s. Warm up and be sunny on Easter Sunday tomorrow.
You mentioned Carmona in the first inning working off that first base side of the rubber. You can see with a right-hander, he's still there. Liriano, sometimes we saw him move, depending on a right-hander or left-hander, but Carmona feels very comfortable there because of that. He's got a kind of delivery that he kind of falls toward the right-handed hitter's batter's box anyway. So that ball, and that's why that ball sinks so well. See the tough toe right there on the shoe as he drags his foot.
Bouncer to short as Drupal Cabrera. Over to Matt Laporta, 1 away. And now former Indian and Cleveland's all-time leading home run hitter, Jim Thome.
That's a nice applause here. 12 years he wore an Indians uniform. Signed by the Indians back in 1989. Came up with them a couple years later.
And he'll try to beat out an infield hit.
Run for your life.
One pitch, a little number. Thome retired. You know, we of course have enjoyed Jim as a designated hitter the last few years. Before that, a first baseman. People forget when he first came up with the Indians, he was a third baseman. So 2 down. Twins still looking for their first hit. Danny Valencia will try to get it. Valencia, the team leader in runs batted in with 9. The Indians obviously rained out last night, and that cost them the #1 spot in the American League in runs scored. But this was a matchup between the top scoring team in the American League, the Indians, and the lowest scoring team, the Twins. The bouncer toward the middle. Cabrera charges, and on 8 pitches, Carmona has a 1-2-3 second inning. Minnesota Twins baseball is brought to you by Explore Minnesota. Visit exploreminnesota.com to plan your next Minnesota vacation today. That's the Blue Mound State Park in southwestern Minnesota near Laverne. Has 13 miles of hiking trails. Might see a herd of buffalo, and the prickly pear cactus blooms in June and July. And as cold as the spring has been, I'm guessing the pear cactus is going to bloom in July.
September.
Not June. Here's Matt Laporta leading off the third. The first pitch fouled away, 1 strike.
Well, Matt Laporta coming over from Milwaukee Brewers. He was a #1 pick and then traded over to the Indians in the CC Sabathia trade. He just hasn't really panned out yet the way that I think the Brewers are expecting him, and then in the trade, the Indians really expecting this guy to hit some home runs, hit for a higher average.
They didn't trade for him expecting him to hit 8th in their lineup, but that's where he's at right now, followed by Hanahan, foul back. But, you know, you look at this Cleveland lineup. We mentioned Danny Valencia, the team leader for the Twins with 9 runs batted in. Indians have 6 players in double digits in runs batted in. This lineup has been very deep, and it's been very, very good.
Yeah, I mean, they came into yesterday's game. I mean, they're both tied with the Kansas City Royals, hitting .269 as a ball club. So they're doing well offensively, and the pitching's been good.
Nice pickup by Casilla, and Laporte is retired. Casilla taking several steps to his left, and a very nice pickup and throw out.
Well, this is what the Twins want out of Alexi Casilla. You're not going to give me much offense, but give me solid defense. And right there, nice pick, sets, and a good throw over to Morneau at first. That's what Gardy was talking about. Nothing fancy, just make the routine plays, and Casilla makes that.
One gone. Here's Jack Hanahan. I like your comparison between Hanahan and Casey Blake. Casey Blake was with the Twins a couple of times. He was blocked here by Corey Koski. Hanahan with the Tigers, A's,
the Mariners.
And so he's in a situation here where, as you said, for Casilla, make sure you make the plays in the field. That's priority number one for the Indians, and now Hanahan hitting ninth has provided some offense to boot.
Sometimes, you know what, you get into different organizations, you never get that opportunity, and he's getting it here. So, you know, like Alexi Casilla, this is his time to take over at shortstop, and Hanahan's getting that opportunity to take over at third base.
In the last couple of days, Brandon Wood cut free by the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim, and now he's found that opportunity with the Pirates.
Right.
2 strikes to Hanahan. Just off the plate, 1-2. Well, the Indians, by and large, a very young team. They've got the youngest 40-man roster in the major leagues. Hanahan, the exception to that, as you saw, in his early 30s.
Butera again sitting down and away, and the pitch just missing there. You get ahead in a count like that, now you can maybe expand that plate a little bit. Dunsing, 14 strikeouts and 20 innings pitched coming into this ball game. Like Tim Nobner said, you know, he's a guy that makes the adjustment as the game goes on. He's been very durable.
He strikes out Hanahan. Out number 2. Fox Sports is proud to bring you exclusive coverage of the UEFA Champions League semifinals beginning on Tuesday, with Schalke taking on Manchester United on Fox Soccer. Then on Wednesday, one of the world's greatest sports rivalries resumes, Barcelona against Real Madrid on FX. Coverage of both games begins at 2 p.m. Eastern. That would be 1 o'clock Central, 11 a.m. Pacific, or noon Mountain Time in high definition. Here's Sizemore skying one behind second base. Span with the catch, and Dunsing has a 1-2-3-11 pitch, 3rd inning. see the heat rising out of the dugouts, and there are the sports writers, entombed in glass. Gutierrez dumps one to short right field, and a nice catch by Orlando Cabrera. But not us. We're breathing the fresh air that the fans are breathing. And,
yeah, I'm cold.
Are
just
you
like
really?
the fans, yes. Standing up, just make sure that. How are you, young lady? We have a guest in the booth. An 82-year-old grandma. Maggie Helen, welcome to the booth. She is our one. I'm going to sit down here, so we're going to get you on the air right here. But
Alexis Casilla takes a strike.
welcome to the booth. I love Bert. Wow. I love you. But I understand you brought 12 members of your family here, so 13 members. Well, welcome to the booth. Enjoy the game as we watch the Twins score a run here, okay?
And we just have a mutual respect for each other. She loves you, but we just have a mutual respect for each other. 2 strikes to Casilla, and he slashes one to left, and that's the first Twins hit. So Casilla, behind in the count, takes a big turn at first. He'll hold up there with the first Twins hit.
Well, again, with Carmona, that's the way that he is. I mean, everything's sinker, sinker, sinker. Good piece of hitting by Casilla. Just reaching out and just poking it the other way. Look at the movement of that sinker.
I keep thinking, remember when Carmona first came up into the rotation, and Torrey Hunter said hitting against him was like hitting with a hangover because everything was moving.
Torrey didn't even drink.
Never drank. Here's Span, runner at first, and some speed at first. We'll see if the Twins try to send Casilla here. Span bunts it foul, 1 strike.
Well, with a sinker like he has, it takes almost a power away. If he's got to make a mistake for you to drive it. And that's why I mentioned with Justin up, a guy like this, you almost have to tell yourself, go to left center, because if you try to pull that ball, you're going to get a ground ball out.
And in this case, perhaps a ground ball double play. So Span, really conscious of the sinker, is going to try to get one to the outfield and at least advance Casilla. There's a fastball on the inside corner, 2 strikes.
You start looking away, and then he busts you inside. Span really hasn't figured him out yet. Just 4 hits and 25 at-bats against Carmona.
Two strikes to Span with Casilla at first. Check the swing, 1 and 2. Twins lost a lot of their speed when Tsuyoshi Nishioka went down with an injury, but they have not done much running at all.
No, they
year.
really haven't. Casilla with a couple stolen bases. They're 8 for 8 in stolen base attempts, but you're right. They just haven't shown a lot of running game.
Part of that is they've been behind a lot, as their record would indicate. And Casilla checked it first.
Yeah, throw Laporta a sinker and then get by him.
Santana is a complete catcher, a very good hitter, but a very good defensive catcher too, with a very strong arm. Twins haven't seen much of that yet because he was hurt most of last year. And line foul over the Cleveland dugout. Span with a bouncer to second his first time up, with the exception of Morno's fly to left and Buterra's little pop fly to start this inning. Everything's been hit on the ground in terms of outs. One and 2. Casilla goes, and the pitch line to right field, a base hit. Casilla around second, on his way to third. The throw coming through, but Span behind in the count delivers a single to right, and Carmona got ahead of both Casilla and Span, 2 strikes, and lost them both to singles.
Well, that ball's left up right there, and what? Sometimes managers will take the gamble. I mean, that ball just kind of went right into that swing zone of Denard Span. Only his 5th hit and 26 at bats against Carmona. You put a little hit and run on, it makes that hitter just say, I'm going to swing at it no matter where. And he left it up, and Span got the base hit. So Helen, you're going to get us a run here, okay?
Repko walked his first time up. Indians playing back, hoping for a double play ball. Repko, of course, with good leg speed. And an off-speed pitch floats over. Strike one. Repko with just one run batted in, 14 at bats. Away, and it's 1-1.
Yeah, Carmona, the opening day starter for the Indians, got beat up like you mentioned earlier against the White Sox, and then his last 3 outings, 7 innings of shutout baseball against the Boston Red Sox. Then he, beat the Angels, pitched very good against the Angels and Baltimore. So he has been pitching very well. Good job getting strike one, and when you're a sinker baller, that's so important.
1-1 to Repko, and now 2-1. Here comes Cabrera to chat to Carmona. I better specify Orlando Cabrera, because Asdrubal Cabrera is the shortstop. Trying to score first. That's been critical for them with their lineup banged up. Bouncer to third. Hanahan's got a tough play. He gets safe at second. Span beat the throw. A run scores. The Twins take a 1-0 lead, and good hustle by Span, beating Hanahan's throw.
Helen, you got us a run so far. Good hustle by Denard Span. That ball was, Hanahan had to kind of back up on that. You either charge the ball or you have to play that little short hop, and he ends up backing up. And that allows Denard Span to hustle from first to second, and he does beat the throw. So an infield base hit, an RBI for Repko because of the hustle by Span.
And now Kubel, who bounced to second his first time up.
Repko driving it in his second run of the year.
Down and in. Nice block by Carmona. Or by Santana, I should say. How about this? Twins playing with the lead. They've got some speed on the bases. How about a double steal?
Well, don't get carried away now.
No, let's do it. Let's open it up here. Span at second, Repko at first.
You got a very good hitter, at home plate, and you got Justin Morneau on deck. I don't think so.
Liner to left center field. That might find the gap.
How about an extra? That'll get him.
Span's going to score. Repko's going to be waved around. Cabrera's throw to the plate, not in time, and the Twins take a 3-0 lead. So Kubel with a 2-run double, 4 straight hits, and the Twins have a 3 spot so far here in the third.
Well, in the first inning, we saw that sinker. Now the Twins batters are adjusting. You're going to throw that sinker, we'll just go the other way, like I talked about Justin. Good piece of hitting by Kubel. Span scores. Repko scores, and the Twins take a 3-0 lead. So Helen, you're doing good up here, baby.
3-0, and here's Morneau, still only 1 out in the inning. Foul over the Cleveland dugout.
Yeah, Helen is not leaving our booth the rest of the game. You can go out when the Indians are hitting, but you come back when the Twins are hitting, okay?
Inside, nearly hit him, 1-1.
Well, then, you rely on that sinker. He tried to hit the inner half of the plate and just held on to it too long. Carmona did.
And out in front of the off-speed pitch, a foul, 1-2. In addition to everything else he's been going through, Morneau had a shot in his neck to kind of quiet some neck pain down.
had a lot of shots. I've never had one on my neck. I've had acupressure done, you know, where they go around that area, but not an actual cortisone shot.
Came inside, a foul tip. Santana hangs on, and Morno's a strikeout victim, out number 2.
And the first strikeout of the ball game for Carmona.
Next Tuesday and Thursday are Sports Authority Value Pack games as the Twins host Tampa Bay. You can purchase a ticket in the U.S. Bank Home Run Porch. Get a free Schweigert's hot dog and Pepsi. Tickets are limited for the game, so call 800-33-TWINS today or visit twinsbaseball.com. Here's Michael Kadire, and there's a pitch to the backstop. And Kubel advances to third. So a wild pitch advancing Kubel to third base.
Well, as a pitcher, you're going to have innings that get away from you, and that's what's happening right here to Carmona. Watch this pitch right here. It's a slider, and Santana can't stop it. It's his first wild pitch of the year. Tim Belcher out to the mound on a quick trip to the mound by pitching coach Tim Belcher.
Belcher could have been a Minnesota Twin. He was a draft pick of the Twins, a first-round draft pick. And opted not to sign, went on to have a great career for a handful of teams. One and 0 to Kadire. Michael's hit at 9 of the last 10 games. Hoping to get a hit here and get Kubel in from third base. At the knees, and it's 1-1.
Yeah, back-to-back games for Kadire hitting solo home runs. Twins don't really need a home run. They'd like to pick up Kubel from third base with 2 outs.
Two and 1. Talk on the road trip, the Twins needing some 2-out hits, and they'd like to get one here, but some pretty impressive 2-strike hitting in this inning. Garcia behind 0-2. He got the opening base hit here to start this rally, and then Span was 0-2. It was 1-2. He got his hit.
22 pitches so far this inning for Carmona.
And a half swing, and he can do that to you. That ball jumps all over the place. That was a half-hearted swing by Kadire.
Well, you know what? Kadire's kind of a guess hitter. I was talking to Joe Vavra about that, you know, and Kadire sometimes says, okay, it's going to be a fastball. You can see he's thinking something else right here. Just kind of a half-heartedly swing.
High fly to center. Sizemore over to end the inning. 4 straight hits for the Twins. They turn it into 3 runs.
Helen, you did good. Now get out of here. The Indians are hitting.
North is brought to you by Grand Casino. The best stories start here. by AT&T, and by Comcast. Call Comcast Business Class at 800-391-3000 to turn your business into a fast business. Well, nice to see the Twins jump out in front in the third inning. A 3 spot for Brian Dunsing, and he'll pitch to the Indians here in the fourth. Asdrubal Cabrera, Shin-Soo Choo, and Carlos Santana.
Well, you can't tell. You can't, you know, when you get 3 runs like that, especially early on, make sure you relax a little bit, and hopefully Dunsing can put a quick 0 on the board.
You know, I think that's going to be the key for the Twins, not just in the pitching department, but in the hitting department. The word you use, to relax. And you get some hits like Kubal's, there's a bunt foul. You get like Kubal's 2-run double. Some clutch hits along the way, and everybody will relax, and you get more and more clutch hits. 2 strikes to Asdrubal Cabrera.
Again, a roller coaster ride. Sometimes, you know, you go through a season and you have little low, you know, slow starts, and hopefully, you know, games like this will get them going. But it's up to the pitching too. I mean, Dunsing given that 3-0 lead, you have to continue to attack the strike zone. No walks for Dunsing, 2 strikeouts. He's thrown 42 pitches.
Close pitch taken. And it's 2-2.
What a job Dunsing has had as a starter for the Twins. 25 career starts coming into this ballgame. He is 13-3 as a starter.
Full count, third 3-ball count for Dunsing. So the big pronouncement that was made, Dunsing's going to be a starter, would have been more newsworthy if he hadn't been named a starter, given his success in the rotation. 3-2 to Asdrubal Cabrera. And a bouncer foul. Steve Smith, third base coach for the Indians. Deep to left. Repko going back and over. One hops the wall, and Asdrubal Cabrera checks into second with a leadoff double.
And Dunsing ahead in the count, and then left a pitch up right there. And Cabrera with his 3rd double of the year. Got a fastball up. Repko right away knew he couldn't catch up to it, so now I have to play the carom. And he hustles to it and gets it back in. Second hit for the Indians.
This one leading off an inning. Cabrera at second. Number 3 hitter Shin-Soo Choo at the plate. He lined out to Casilla his first time up. Just off the outside corner, ball 1. Goes to the mound. Now you'd think the Indians off to a good start offensively, that Choo and Santana would be a big part of it, but they've kind of gone through what some guys in the middle of the Twins lineup have gone through.
Yeah, again, you know, I mean, a 300 hitter last year, Choo, you know, drove in a lot of runs, so. But, you know, one thing that Dunsing has done so far, I mean, over his career, he's handled left-handed hitters very well. Left-handers over his career hitting under 200 against him. Good breaking ball right there. So you bust him in with a fastball, then you take a little off on that breaking ball, Choo way out front.
Is there a hitter who's ever had a 2-0 count and looked for an off-speed pitch?
No.
Choo thought fastball. Dunsing didn't give him one. And now to center field. Span hustling over. It's a base hit for Choo, and runners at first and third with nobody out. It'll bring up Carlos Santana. Tim Laudner, Indians, and I think everybody in baseball very interested to see this young man's career develop.
And rightly so, Dick and Bert, because he's got some good actions behind the plate. I like the way he catches. He's animated. He's very helpful to his pitcher, very encouraging to his pitcher. Does a lot of good things behind the plate. I think he's a pretty good thrower, and by the looks of things, he's a good receiver too. So spent some time on the disabled list last year at the end of the season with the knee injury, But it's easy to see why the Cleveland Indians are pretty high on this young man.
So Santana will hit. He lined out to Span his first time up. First and third, nobody out. Twins have just taken a 3-0 lead. Change up, floats outside.
Yeah, Santana, 25 years old, from the Dominican Republic, signed by the Dodgers in 2004. He had the knee surgery last year. Collision at home plate at Fenway Park back in August.
You can imagine the Dodgers, I guess, trading him, figuring, well, hey, we got Russell Martin behind the plate. Santana's kind of blocked, and then Martin ends up going to the Yankees. A little bit low, 2-1. Same when he's missed has been right around the strike zone.
He normally is. I mean, he just missed it a little bit. Like to get a ground ball right here. Infield looking for the ground ball. Maybe they can turn two.
There's a grounder.
There we go.
Valencia to second. And the ball rolls by Morneau. The feed to Cuddyer, kind of a tough one, remembering Cuddier's not a regular second baseman. Valencia's throw kind of ruined whatever chance the Twins had of getting a double play.
Yeah, you want that throw a little bit over the bag, and this throw by Danny Valencia a little bit on the outfield side. So Michael had to reach out to get it and then try to make the strong throw. And that ball getting away, and Drew Butera backing up. And you say, why is a catcher backing up when there's a runner at third? Well, that runner's going to score anyway. So Butera's job to get over there so that ball doesn't go into that camera well.
Well, if you get another ground ball here, maybe you can get a double play in the Hafner at bat. Hafner struck out against Dunsing in the second inning. There's the first pitch strike. The Indians dumped virtually every contracted veteran player they could to rebuild. They could not get rid of Hafner's contract because he was hurt. This one nubbed, and that's going to be a tough play for Dunsing. Plants and fires, and the throw pulled Morneau off the bag. So Hafner gets an infield hit on a swinging bunt. First and second, one away.
Well, not much you can do about that. Danny Valencia playing a little bit toward the shortstop side, and Hafner says, I'll take those. Right off the end of the bat. And the ball trickling down that third base line. And I don't even know if a strong throw, an accurate throw would have been able to get him. Hafner hustling down that line.
So now 3 hits in the inning. So far, just 1 run. And Orlando Cabrera will hit. Cabrera got the first Cleveland hit and then stole second, but was left there in the second inning. Outside. Cabrera central to the Twins' drive to winning the division title a couple years ago, winning game 163. He hit a big home run. And the Twins made some midseason moves last year, and they all clicked, and they ended up catching and passing the Tigers in that extra game. Driven to right, and retreating is Kubel. He's got to go back near the track to make the catch. Lead runner will advance on a deep drive to right. The ball seems to be carrying here despite the cold weather. We saw Repko retreat on a ball that seemed to be a medium deep fly ball, and that ball seemed to really carry to the corner.
Well, remember, the cement is drying. Cabrera right there, you can see Kubel. He's a little surprised right there, I think, by how far that ball went out. But he backpedals and makes a nice catch. So runners at the corners.
So you've given up 3 hits in an inning, and you can get out of here with just 1 run allowed. That's pretty good.
That's a good job at damage control.
Got to get Brantley, though, to do that. Brantley hit a bouncer to short his first time up. And here's a high chopper. And Cuddyer flips, makes a nice play. Kind of a sideways hop for Michael to his glove side, but he stayed with it and got the final out. time. His first major league home run, and that svelte young guy was Jim Thome.
Good for him.
Wearing number 6.
He's hit 590 of them since.
And Thome leads off the 4th inning. And he takes strike 1. Thome just hit a little number in front of the plate. He was thrown out by Santana. Twins leading now 3-1. 1-1. AT&T trivia question today. Who was the last Indian to lead the American League in home runs? Ooh, got a pitch there, up and in, and he swung through it.
Yeah, it looked like Carmona pulled the string a little bit right there. Jim swinging through that pitch.
I'm going to go with Albert Bell.
How about Manny Ramirez?
Could be.
Throw out a couple names. Just keep throwing names out until we get them right.
You don't have to go back as far as Rocky Colavito or anybody like that, I don't think.
Chip Thome led the National League when he was with the Phillies in home run, but never with the Indians.
2-2. Carmona to Thome. 3-2. Valencia on deck.
He's got such a good eye. Even that pitch right there, he's just so patient. You know, a lot of hitters would swing at that, especially when you have 2 strikes on you. 1,700 walks in his career.
And he takes a walk, leading off the 4th inning. Twins fans, you can get involved in our broadcast this afternoon. Let us know who you think will be the Arby's Value Player of the game. Text the word value followed by a space in the player's name to short code 234-234. Hey, where's Brian Dunsing on there? Come on, Brian Dunsing needs some votes. We'll have the results in the Twins postgame show.
Hitting. Everything for the hitters. Again, Herbeck's up here with us, enjoying his coffee on a nice cold day.
Just because it's steaming doesn't mean it's coffee. Valencia takes low, ball 1. Valencia bounced to short his first time up. Yoshi Nishioka watching in person. Been thinking about him as we've been doing the games on the road. Check swing 2-0. That'll be tough for him. I'm sure he's been watching the games, but he doesn't understand English. Not many people understand the form you and I use up here. But here's a guy who doesn't understand English, period.
He's got to learn. You know, I was never with someone that didn't know a lot of English. Can you imagine the words I could have taught them?
It's not too late with him.
No, I was already told not to go near him.
So Rio is translator. I don't know. I'll have to ask. Maybe they're watching the games together. So Yoshi is able to understand, try to understand our broadcast.
Good luck. Well, Carmona's kind of putting himself in a hole after walking Jim Thome. He's fallen behind 3-0 to Danny Valencia. There's a strike. Danny just 1 for 10 lifetime against Carmona. He should get a good pitch to hit right here, if it's not ball 4.
Bouncer to third. Hanahan started with what he hopes is a double play. And on a good pitch to hit, Valencia wraps into a double play. 2 down. Yoshi Nishioka is doing everything needed to get back on the field in a hurry. Log on to FoxSportsNorth.com and check out video, photos, and a feature story on his rehab that's taking place at the new state-of-the-art Target Field rehab facility. Read that story and much more at FoxSportsNorth.com.
I mean, look at that thing. They have that in the clubhouse. We had that little tub. I couldn't even get in. All the water went out when I jumped in.
Is that right? Drew Butera bluffing a bunt, taking ball 1. Butera had a little short fly ball into right field. Cabrera retreated from his position at second base to make the catch. Popped up to the left side. Hanahan gives way to the shortstop as Drupal Cabrera. And Carmona pitches around a leadoff walk in the 4th. trying to break through. By the end of the game, perhaps we'll have sunny skies. Tim Launder, Marnie Gellner, Bert Blylev, and Dick Bramer here with the Twins in front 3-1. First pitch of the 5th inning. Matt Laporta skies it to short left. And Alexi Casilla with the catch, one away.
A little game reset. Jason Kubel with that 2-run double. The Twins put 4 hits together in the 3rd inning to take a 3-0 lead. Redko with a single, a walk, and his run scored a run with an RBI.
Dunsing with 13 outs recorded. He's thrown 60 pitches. And the first pitch strike to Jack Hanahan. Went down swinging his first time up. 1-1.
That's one thing, Dick. I think what we've seen from Brian Dunsing, he's going to have an inning like last inning. He threw 20 pitches to get out of that inning. Indians had 3 hits, but he's also going to mix in a 10 and an 11 pitch inning that gets him into the hopefully 7th inning. He's gone 6 or more innings every start so far, and that's in today's game that's considered a workhorse.
But don't you do that when you built a reputation as a strike thrower? I mean, I think Dunsing has earned that reputation already. Doesn't walk many people. Fouled back, and if a hitter's up there and he realizes the guy's going to be throwing it over the plate, you're going to have some quicker.
Pitching's funny. You go at it the way that you think that you're going to get somebody out. But what Brian Dunsing, he realizes he needs to change speeds to get guys out. Excellent control, but he'll change speeds.
A liner to left, and a base hit for Hanahan with 1 out in the 5th.
Yeah, that ball just up right there, and the Indians get their 5th hit of the ball game.
And we know it's a holiday, Easter Sunday, but if you do get to the game here early tomorrow, or if you're just downtown, stop by the Majestic Athletic Clubhouse store at Target Field and get a free autograph from Brian Dunsing. He'll be in the clubhouse store from 10 in the morning to 10:45, and while you're at the store, check out the great assortment of Twins apparel and other great gift ideas. 3rd time through the order now for the Indians, and Grady Sizemore, who's bounced to second and flied to center. Flip the inside corner. When he was healthy, comparisons I think were fair. Sizemore meaning to the Indians what Mauer meant to the Twins in terms of a franchise player, somebody the Indians hope to build around. Just off the inside corner, 1-1.
Yeah, 3-time American League All-Star. Both pitches by Brian Dunsing, middle of the plate, and that one just missing inside. So won 2 Rolling Gold Gloves out in center field when he is healthy back in 2007 and 8.
Pop up near the mound, and Kadire with the catch out number 2.
Good job right there by Kadire taking charge and taking that pop up.
You can get into the game on Fox Sports North. Ask a question of us. And today's question, Jason Barber of Montgomery, Minnesota, wondering why we don't see many players trying to steal home anymore like Rod Carew used to do. Rod's year of 1969 was the year that Billy Martin managed the club, and that's when Rod stole, 8 times, I believe?
Yeah, 7 or 8, yeah.
And tied to Ty Cobb for the record for steals of home in one season. But I think therein lies the answer. No one had done that from the time of Ty Cobb up until 1969. It's not a very common occurrence, a straight steal of home.
You know what, I think back then everybody pitched out of the windup. I think that's Lolich right there. Everybody, with a runner on third, you were kind of taught, don't worry about him. You see the high leg kick, whoever that was right there, but Rod had impeccable speed. He was like a cat. And
a manager who gave him the green light at third base.
Right.
Billy Martin said, hey, anytime you think you can go, do it.
Yeah, you don't see that too often. I think also pitchers, that, hey, with a fast runner like a Ricky Henderson, there's always that opportunity. Especially if you have a high leg kick, you almost have to hold them on. So you have to go in your stretch position.
I think the most recent player to do it was Jacoby Ellsbury, who did it against Andy Pettit a couple of years ago. Grady Sizemore stole home.
You'll see guys on a double steal get credited for a stolen base home. Dan Gladden probably did.
He did in, I think, opening day '88. He stole home. I don't know if Dan remembers that, but he stole home at least once. Two strikes to Cabrera with 2 gone in the Cleveland 5th. There's a chance. There's a call. Third strike. With Dunsing shaving the outside corner. Hanahan left at first, and the Twins maintain a 2-run lead.
Lottery winner's circle with $100 worth of scratch-off tickets for Libby from Duluth, who is wishing everyone a happy Easter with her sign and her bunny ears. It's Libby's first game ever at Target Field. What's the experience been like for you?
It's been wonderful. We're up. We're winning. You know, it couldn't be better. It's a great day.
It's a little chilly up in the 300 level, but the wind is not too bad. You're kind of protected.
Yeah, definitely protected. I got my big sign to protect the wind, so.
You and half of the section. Thanks, Libby. Congratulations. You also get a circle from Bert today.
Cool. Thank you.
You're very welcome, Dick and Bert.
Yeah, thank you for the sign. Very, very nice sign.
Bouncer right side off the glove of Orlando Cabrera, and Casilla will reach on a probable base hit. He slapped the base hit to left his first time up. That one kicked up off the grass into the heel of Cabrera's glove.
Yeah, the ball came up a little bit. Cabrera, you know, showing a little bit of range right here. You can see him at the top of your screen, going to his left, and then hit off the glove, and Casilla will get an infield base hit. So Casilla, you know, with the average at 140 coming in, gets a couple hits in his first 2 at-bats.
Here's Denard Span. Casilla with 1 out in the 3rd. Got the first of 4 straight hits when the Twins scored their 3 runs. Span single. Threatened to bunt back in the 3rd inning, and he takes small one, showing bunt here in the 5th.
Yeah, it looked like a hit and run. Casilla was taken off in the 3rd inning. Maybe trying to steal a base, maybe a hit and run, but Span found that hole in the right field. Casilla's hustled over to 3rd.
I think both Denard Span and Jason Kubel deserve some credit for maintaining their good hitting when others around them have not. I would imagine it would be easy if you're Span or you're Kubel to step up there and try to do too much when other guys are really struggling in the lineup. There's a ground ball base hit. Span has his 2nd hit, and that's kind of what we've seen from Span. His average has been in the 3 teens to 320s pretty much all season long.
Well, I think they're told on a daily basis by Joe Vavro or Ron Gardenhire, his coaching staff, hey, don't try to do too much. Just stay where you're at. Good piece of hitting right there by Span. We've seen Span again. A guy that lets that ball almost get on top of home plate before he uses the wrist and just slapping it the other way.
Repko drove in a run with a single. He's reached both times against Carmona.
See if Repko's maybe asked to bunt here.
Hanahan in on the grass at third. Laporta creeping in. There's a bunt.
Good bunt.
Deadened beautifully. And Repko reaches or advances the runners on a sacrifice bunt.
Yeah, perfect bunt right there by Repko. You know, you give yourself up for your teammates and the team. And Repko's going to get high fives, which he is right there. All around, he did his job, advancing both the runners, Casilla and Span, in the scoring position. Squaring around, and then you can see kind of jabbing at it, but deadening the ball. Carmona has only one play, and that's right there. Follow the ball. Very nicely done.
Super slow motion showing Repko tracking the ball all the way in. Now Kubel will be intentionally walked, perhaps the only time in recent memory, at least, that someone has been intentionally walked in front of Justin Morneau.
Well, sinker ball pitcher out there. You have a double play opportunity, and Maniac just saying, let's put him on. Hopefully, you know, in their eyes, get a ground ball, turn a double play.
I've never quite agreed with the term when you see someone bunt. They say, well, they're playing for one run, because more often than not, it seems, you laid down a bunt successfully and you ended up with more than one run.
Yeah, 3 or 4.
So we'll see where this leads. Obviously, the Indians want that ground ball double play. Morneau hoping to get one of his patented bases clearing doubles.
Well, and a lot of hitters take offense to that too. You know, you're going to walk that guy. You know, I'm going to show you. And the fans want Justin to show him.
Bases loaded, 1 out. Morneau with a fly to left and a strikeout. And a liner to right center, down for a hit. And it's going to score 2. And the Twins lead at 5-1, and Morneau jumps back into the lineup with a big hit.
Well, there you go right there. You know, the pressure's kind of more on the pitcher, sometimes the hitter, with bases loaded and 1 out. Carmona's trying to get that ball down. Justin just reaches out, softly hitting it into right center. Take a look at the pitch. And Justin with a 2-run single, giving the Twins a 5-1 lead. So Alexi Casilla started both these rallies for the Twins.
Here's Kadire, first and third. Still only 1 out. Tapper foul. Seven hits for the Twins, and they made the most of them. They bunched them together, 4 of them for 3 runs in the third, and the other 3 hits for, so far, a couple of runs in the 5th. Bouncer to third. Hanahan off his chest. They'll get 1, and that's it. Kadire will get a run batted in on the fielder's choice.
Kadire picking up his first RBI of the year, other than driving himself in with the 2 solo home runs. Kind of a big hop right there. Hanahan, you know, you go in and you try to get this ball quickly. He charged right there, and then it came up on him. A little hesitation getting that ball out. Carmona hoping a double play would have been turned. It did not, as Kubel scores.
Infield shift on for Thome, and the pitch 2 feet outside. So a 3 spot in the third, 3 more in the 5th. And for the first time this year, the Twins have scored 6 runs in a game.
Yeah. I really didn't think the whole season they would not score more than 5 runs in a game.
that's why you're up here. 22 years in the big leagues. I was starting to worry. And you, the voice of reason, of experience.
80 pitches for Carmona, 47 strikes.
2-1.
Well, he's starting to fall behind on some hitters. You know, the first 3 innings, he was the 14 batters he faced. He was strike 1 on 11 of the 14. And a season high in runs. Oh, great jump by Kadire.
He started, stopped, and took off again all before Carmona broke from the stretch.
He did the Torrey Hunter steal right there. Remember that one year Torrey Hunter stole 5 or 6 bases early in the season? Just take off. Just go. And Kadire steals his first base of the year.
3-1 to Tomey, and ball 4. He's walked for the second consecutive time. So Twins aren't done yet. Valencia will have a chance here. He's hit a couple of ground balls to the left side.
And Tim Belcher coming out again to talk to his big right-hander.
Valencia's had a tough time with Carmona. Just 1 for 11 against him. Ball into the ground twice today. Click on the Fan Zone tab on the FoxSportsNorth.com homepage and win unbelievable prizes from team merchandise, game tickets, unique fan experiences, tech toys, and more. You can join. It's fast and free, and it's all at the Fan Zone tab on FoxSportsNorth.com.
Carmona hasn't had the best success against the Twins. 4 wins, 8 losses, and 14 starts against the Twins. But he did pitch his first major league shutout against the Twins. You have to go back to 2007. He beat Johan Santana 2-0 on a 4-hit shutout.
That was Santana's last year with the Twins. And for the most part, he pitched well against the Indians, but he kept being matched up against Sabathia and Carmona, and Santana that year was 0-5 against Cleveland. There's another bouncer left side, and Hanahan flips it across the diamond to end the inning. Another good inning for the Twins. 3 more runs and a little breathing room for Brian Dunsing, with Justin Morneau driving in 2.
Forecast as the Twins take on the Indians on Sunday. Mild weather will continue to be the setup here. Mixed clouds with sunshine. That first pitch temperature right at 57 degrees.
Well, Brian Dunsing with a 5-run lead. When's the last time we
haven't
had when you can't score more than 5 runs, you're not going to have a 5-run lead very often.
You said that for the first time this year, Dick.
And a first pitch out, which Chu grounding out to Kadire, one away. Dunsing gets a quick out here in the 6th. Twins and Indians wrap up this shortened 2-game series tomorrow. 1:10 start. The first 5,000 fans 14 and older will get a Matt Capps fishing lure courtesy of Rapala. And of course it's Blue Bunny Kids Day, so that means free ice cream and autographs for kids before the game and running the bases afterwards. You can call 800-33-TWINS to check on ticket availability. Now I like the Matt Capps fishing lure. I got to look at it last night.
I was going to ask you because I don't fish a lot. I'm a golfer, but you're a fisherman.
And
good luck on those things?
I've had terrible luck. I tried the wrong garden hire, the Eddie Guardado, the Ken Herbeck, the Brad Rack. He can't catch a thing. But now this Matt Capps one I like because it's got kind of a scowl on it, on the face of the fishing lure.
We think the fish are going to see that?
Pretty serious, threatening painting of the fishing lure. I think that's got to help.
Why would they attack it?
I don't know. It's just.
Well, let us know how you do.
We'll try it out here later in May. If the ice ever comes off the lakes.
I think they should give away, Matt Cap golf balls. I think that'd be a nice thing. Dunsing just missing down and away.
And missing again. 3-2 to Carlos Santana, who drove in the Cleveland run on a ground ball to third. And in the dirt, a 1-out walk.
And the first walk for Dunsing.
AT&T trivia question with Travis Hafner coming to the plate. I don't think the answer is Hafner. I'm going to go back to Albert Bell.
Yeah, I'll go Manny Ramirez.
And it is Albert Bell. He got 50 home runs. I think he also got 50 doubles that season. And that was actually a shortened season that year. We got started a little late in '95.
Boy, he could hit.
Here's Hafner. Strikeout in the single so far, and he takes ball 1.
Well, 80 pitches for Dunsing. 52 have been strikes. 1 walk, 3 strikeouts. Giving up 5 hits.
See if they can get 2 here. Kadire to Casilla. Double play.
Very nice. Pitcher's best friend.
That and a 5-run lead. Eye problems, those have gotten fixed, and he's back with the ball club.
Yeah, 4 surgeries, eye surgeries for Rich Stelmasic, and welcome back. Phil Roof did a great job, in place of Stelmasic until he was able to come back. Got the okay from the doctors, and nobody happier to see him than his manager, his coaches, all friends, and then also the players.
Well, new Indian pitcher with the Twins knocking out Fausto Cremona after 5, it's right-hander Chad Durbin.
Yeah, Durbin making his 8th appearance in his first season with the Indians. The last 3 seasons with the Philadelphia Phillies, also pitched for the Royals. In his second stint with the Indians, he was with the Indians back in 2003 and 4, also with the Diamondbacks.
So Carmona came into the game with 3 straight starts where he'd gone 7 innings. He is taken out after 5, and the Twins put up 6 earned runs against him. Didn't do it with any home runs or a collection of extra base hits. They just packaged their hits together.
I think if you followed Carmona's career against the Twins, that's kind of what it's been. I mean, he either pitches a shutout or, you know, he has tough innings like he had in the 3rd and 5th. Well, Durbin has a good sinking fastball. He has a hard curveball, slider, and a changeup in his 12th major league season.
2-0 to Butera, then Casilla and Span. Two and 1. Carl Pavano starting tomorrow for the Twins. We anticipate Butera catching him in the series finale tomorrow. Full foul. You know, the Indians off to a great start. They've done one thing wrong. They've beaten up on the American League East. They're 6-0 against the East, but they have a losing record against the Central Division teams. And as we've talked about, Twins have only played prior to today 2 games against a Central Division opponent. So if you're going to have a slow start, it's better to have a slow start against teams outside your division. And if you're going to be red hot, as the Indians have been, you know, you'd like to be able to beat up on teams within the division. And Butera behind third. That's a fair ball. He might actually get an extra base hit here. Throw from Brantley to second, not in time, and Butera's got a leadoff double.
Yeah, second double of the year for Drew Butera. Finally got a pitch. They seemed like they were pitching him in, and he just opened up and hit this ball softly down the left field line. Brantley had to go over there and play the carom. A little sinker down and in. And Butera getting his first hit.
It'll bring up Alexi Casillas. Had a good day at the plate with a pair of singles.
He's made the routine plays to it short, so you know that's what Gardy wants.
And here a ground ball to second, which will in its own way be a good at bat because it advanced the leadoff doubler to third.
Now little things like this sometimes are overlooked. You know, when you say, well, ground ball to second, what did he do? He moved Butera over to third. Take a look at this defensively, Casilla. And then he's kind of started that rally in the 3rd inning. And hustling on a hit and run. And then later scored in that 3rd inning. And then in the 5th inning, you got the Twins rally going again with the infield base hit.
I think you just turned a 300 hitter into a 400 hitter because Span will hit now with the infield in. Trying to add on a 7th run. Butera at third, 1 away, and the infield in. 1-0 to Span. 2-0. Repko on deck.
Well, Durbin came into this inning 6 1/3 innings. He had 4 walks, 1 intentional with 4 strikeouts.
Starters have been great. Bullpen, if anything, has been better for the Indians in the first few weeks. And now a 4-pitch walk puts Span aboard. Repko coming to the plate. Before he gets there, you can follow the Twins with MLB.com @BAT11 for your iPhone, iPad, Android, or BlackBerry. Get all the scores, stats, highlights, live audio, and more. Text @BAT to 31826 or visit twinsbaseball.com for details. Now the infield back. They'd like to get a double play, get off the field here, but Repko's reached twice and dropped down a sacrifice bunt. Hanahan playing about even with the base at third, and Repko takes ball one. Span goes. Santana's thrown out in time.
And a great jump. Santana showing off that good arm, but Span right there steals his second base on the year. The second stolen base by the Twins. Great jump. The feet first slide. The Twins stay out of that double play opportunity.
That'll bring the infield in again. Not all the way in because Butera doesn't run the ball that well. 2-1.
Drive him in. Come on.
This is the type of game the Twins envision coming out of spring training. Base hit left field. Repko has his second hit. Butera scores, and it's 7-1. Now the ball kicks away from Hanahan. But another productive at bat for the number 2 hitter in the lineup. It's not the number 2 hitter the Twins envision, but Repko doing a really nice job there today.
Again, it's a long season. Guys like Repko getting some at-bats here because of Delman Young being out. And almost the same pitch that Drew Butera hit. Repko finds the hole in the left field. He picks up his second hit, his second RBI of the ball game, and the Twins do take a 7-1 lead.
Kubel with a 2-run double and an intentional walk and a run scored. Strike on the outside corner. Yeah, the Twins envision Lucia hitting ninth, getting on base, using his speed, scoring a couple of runs. They envision Span reaching a couple times a game, maybe scoring some runs, stealing a base. And Nishioka doing what Repko's done here today.
Good changeup right there by Durbin. Kubel way out front.
2 strikes. Fly ball right center field. That'd be deep enough to score. Span. Chu sets up. He's got a good arm, but he won't challenge the run coming in. A second run scores here in the 6th, and Kubel has his 3rd run batted in.
He hit it deep enough right there, and with Span at third base, he's going to motor in, so Kubel makes it an 8-1 Twins lead.
Here's Morneau, a back-breaking 2-run single in the 5th.
Span scoring for the 3rd time in the game.
Backhanded. And a short flip and a very close play with Cabrera throwing it in the dirt to Cabrera. Twins are done in the 6th, but they had a couple more runs and now lead at 8-1. Minnesota Twins baseball on Fox Sports North is brought to you by McDonald's. Try one of our 3 Angus snack wraps. They're full of unbeatable flavor. And by fast, reliable, secure, heavy-duty internet from Qwest. Well, that's more like it. 8-1. Not biting your fingernails yet. And Brian Dunsing has done well here today, pitching with the lead most of the day.
Again, he's adjusted well. Tim Laudner talked about it earlier. He struggled a little bit. I mean, the Twins gave him a 3-1 lead. Nice backhanded play by Kadire for the first out. Now, he's been able to do that. Have some innings where he's only thrown 9, 10, 11 pitches to get out of an inning.
Qwest high-speed pitch. Brought to you by Qwest high-speed internet.
Now Carmona with that nasty sinker, clocked as high as 96, and Dunsing at 94.
So 1 out. Here's Brantley, and imagining Dunsing getting through the 7th inning, his 4 starts will have lasted 7, 6, 7, and 7 innings.
And maybe more than that. Right now, 84 pitches. So another quick inning, he may be able to go 8.
Fouled away. Then again, this might be one of those situations with the lead being what it is, and the Twins are intent on getting Joe Nathan some work, give him an opportunity to pitch an inning, rebuild his confidence a little bit. We'll see how they play it out. 2 strikes to Brantley. Blocked by Butera.
Dunsing really only had that 4th inning that, he allowed 3 hits to the Indians, but he did a great job of damage control.
Give up a leadoff double.
Yep.
Inside, you give up a leadoff double. You don't concede anything, but give up a couple hits after that, just give up the 1 run. That's pretty good.
Yep.
And he makes a nice fielding play. 2 down.
Well, here this afternoon, Brian Dunsing keeping that pitch count down so he can go deep into the ball game. 1 walk, 3 strikeouts. Again, not a strikeout pitcher. He's a contact type pitcher, okay? But make him hit my pitch. Keep the ball down. He'll elevate sometimes. There, a quadruple striking out Cabrera right there. Perfect pitch, down and away. There's a line right there. 6 2/3 innings for Brian Dunsing. 88 pitches.
Fouled away.
Even that pitch right there, it's not 93, it's just 89. Get me over, strike 1. Laporta already is, last time up he popped up on that first pitch. A quick out.
And a liner to Valencia.
2 pitches, another out.
It's the 4th inning out of 7 where the Indians have sent just 3 men to the plate. by Medica.
Another good crowd here today.
Bundled up, but they're enjoying what they've seen. A Twins lineup that struggled to score runs, and they've put a season-high 8 up on the board so far. Michael Kanier drove in a run with a ground ball. He'll lead off in 7th. Bouncer behind 3rd. Hanahan, a nice backhanded pickup, and the throw on target. Good play by Jack Hanahan. They get Kanier 1 away. You know, we talked in the last half inning when the Twins were hitting about the Cleveland bullpen. It's been very good. They actually started that turnaround in the second half last year. We'll take another look at Hanahan's nice play.
Yeah, backhanded, sets, and across the diamond, a strike over to Laporta.
That'll bring up Tomey. The Indians generally were better in the second half last year, and their bullpen was very good. And I think there was some found optimism coming into this season that the Indians kind of bottomed out last year in the first half, and if they could get a healthy Hafner and Sizemore back in the lineup, it'd be a lot better team this year.
Well, you look at that bullpen. You got Chris Perez right now, a young closer. He's been very successful in that role. Rafael Perez had an off year last year, but he's off to a pretty good start. And Tony Sipp, who always seems to pitch good against the Twins. Their bullpen combined 3.16 ERA. That's the 3rd lowest in the American League.
Tomey, base hit to right field. He's walked a couple of times and now a single. Grand Casino's story of the game with the Twins striking first in the 3rd inning.
Well, Jason Kubel taking a Fausto Carmona sinker down and away the other way for a 2-run double. That gave the Twins a 3-0 lead. Justin Morneau with the bases loaded in the 5th inning, a big 2-run single. And that kind of opened up the ball game to a 6-1 lead. Twins added 2 more in the bottom of the 6th inning.
Matt Tolbert, the designated runner for Jim Tomey.
Hey, boy, Jim.
And a pitch up and in to Valencia. And he's hit 3 ground balls to the left side. Up and in again, 2-0. Not 100%. He's got about 10 pounds to gain to get back to his true fighting weight, but it sure is nice. I mean, the lineup just looked better before the first pitch to have his name in there.
Yeah, anytime you can put a name in that 4th spot, there
Deep
it goes.
Left field, Danny Valencia. Gone, a home run. And the Twins hit double digits in runs.
Well, Danny Valencia, home run number 2 on the year. He had trouble against Fausto Carmona, but he got a pitch up from Chad Durbin and hits a 2-run home run. So Durbin coming in, getting roughed up a little bit. 4 runs allowed in an inning plus. Valencia right down that left field line. And the Twins take a 10-1 lead. Hey, can we spread these runs out a little bit?
Backdate them. A couple of these 1-run losses in St. Petersburg and New York. And now down and away to Butera, 2-0. Butera doubled, leading off the 6th. Eventually scored a run. Check swing and a strike, 2-1.
Well, for Danny Valencia, 2nd home run for the Twins, just their 9th home run of the year. And it's good to see something other than a solo home run.
Yeah, just the 2nd multi-run home run for the Twins, inside 3-1. Hooked foul near the tarp. You know, the Indians had one of those crushing losses. You mentioned Chris Perez. He gave up his first runs of the year in the 9th inning, 2 of them in Kansas City on Thursday night. And turned a win into a loss. Butera called out on strikes.
Well, Durbin picking up his first strikeout. Good fastball down in the strike zone.
Fox Strike brought to you by Carrier. And so that'll ultimately, I think, situations like that will determine whether the Indians can stay in this race, perhaps win it all. How they handle those tough losses. Now, the Twins have had a handful of them already this year, but that really was the first one that was really tough for the Indians to try to overcome.
Yeah, that's the first non-save opportunity, or the blown save for Chris Perez since August of last year.
Right.
I think he did it against the Twins.
Right.
So he had to save like 16 straight. That happens.
But there'll be some tough stretches, tough weeks. You know, the Twins have had a couple of them already, and the Indians are going to go through it, and it's how they fight through that without letting the whole season spiral out of control in the dirt to Casilla.
Well, one thing that the Twins have in their favor is that they go into the Central Division, the American League, their own division, say, you know what, we have controlled the division. That's why we've won 6 of 9 championships under Ron Gardenhire. Last year they were 47-25, 22 games under or over 500 in their division. Garcia strikes out.
Jim Thome's single followed by Danny Valencia's home run, and it's 10-1 Twins.
Got the Twins offense going. She came up and visited us up in the booth. Helen, nice going. And Twin fans, go to foxsportsnorth.com and click on the Signal Report to submit. There you go. You are here. Oh, there I am. Yeah, I look awesome. To submit an email on why your sign should be circled on an upcoming home game and have a chance to visit us up in the booth. We'll reveal 2 of the sections in the morning before each game. One will be listed on foxsportsnorth.com and the other on KFAN.com.
Dusty Hughes pitching for the Twins. Now, you've got six-pack abs, but it's a different type of six-pack.
More Coors Light type six-pack. Sometimes a case. Depends on the night.
Hughes facing Jack Hanahan, a ball, now a strike.
Good job by Brian Dunsing. 7 innings. 3 out of her 4 starts. He's gone at least 7 innings. Only 1 run allowed, a walk, 3 strikeouts. He threw 90 pitches. 59 were strikes.
And Hughes hits the inside corner. And the Twins today and tomorrow will try to get innings of work for some of the relief pitchers. There's an off day on Monday, so it wasn't that Dunsing was tired, I don't think, so much as some of these guys with the rain out last night There's Eric Hacker warming up.
Yeah, Dusty Hughes worked last Tuesday.
Right.
In Baltimore against the Orioles. Just a 1/3 of an inning through only 12 pitches.
Lifted foul, and that'll reach the seats. 2-2.
Yeah, and that's what happens too during the season. I mean, when your starters don't go, deep into the ball game, all of a sudden your bullpen's overused, and then when your starters go deeper with an off day, then they're underused. So, yeah, that's the hardest thing I think for Rick Anderson and Ron Gardenhire, to keep everybody fresh out there. Make sure you don't overuse somebody, but make sure that you get Dusty Hughes out there, at least face it, get an inning.
2-2. Inside. And that's why guys like Dunsing, who can do both, you ask them, and if you catch them in a weak moment, they really will tell you exactly what they'd like. They'll almost always tell you they'd rather be a starting pitcher, because there is that predictability. Every 5 days you're going to pitch, and you're in the bullpen, and you can go from exhaustion to rust in the span of about 1 week.
Brian Dunsing went into spring training. He was still unsure what his role was going to be. And when Gardy told him, and Rick Anderson told him, hey, you're a starter. It's okay, now I know what I need to do to get ready.
Perkins has gone through that. He's been a starter and a reliever. And he's found a nice role for the Twins now. But if fate has it and he eventually returns to the starting rotation, he'll probably tell you, I really feel more comfortable as a starter. I would think that's true in any line of work. Whatever you're doing, if you can know when you're going to work, it would help. And a pitch up high, Hanahan draws a walk.
Yeah, I walked by him, on the plane when the Twins won 3-1, and he came in and got that big out on one pitch. I asked him if he was tired. He goes, I like my job.
Yeah. Well, Hughes walks the number 9 batter. And now Grady Sizemore will hit. Sizemore 0 for 3. Swing and a miss.
Slider right there by Dusty Hughes. Not overpowering. He needs to keep the ball down. That slider, he also mixes in the curveball. And then his changeup's like a screwball. It'll turn away to a right-handed hitter into a left-handed.
It's hit a long way to right field. And Sizemore hits a 2-run home run here in the 8th inning.
And his second home run, again activated just on April 17th. Well, Sizemore makes it a 10-3 ball game.
And nobody out. Now to bring up Asdrubal Cabrera.
Location. I said Dusty Hughes needs to keep the ball down right there. Belt high. And Sizemore, good, solid, compact swing. 2-run home run.
Cabrera with a double leading off the 4th, and he scored the first Cleveland run. Fly ball to left and a strikeout surrounding that at bat. Roller to Valencia at third. Over to Morneau. 1 away. Fox Sports North supports the Boys and Girls Club. You can join Michael Kadire at the annual Kids in the City event on Thursday, May 26th at Target Center. Celebrate the accomplishments of the Boys and Girls Club youth by attending this family event with sports celebrities, college athletes, team mascots, and other special guests. Log on to foxsportsnorth.com. Click on the Fox Sports North supports banner for details. Strike 1 to Shin-Soo Choo. Choo with a single in 3 trips. Two strikes. Tonight, the second place Kansas City Royals play in Arlington, Texas. The Rangers thumped the Royals pretty good last night. And the White Sox are at Detroit. The game will get started in about an hour. Fly ball hit the center. Span retreats. Out number 2.
Yeah, Hughes dropping down right there and throwing a breaking ball, and Chu got underneath it for the fly out.
There's the standings as they are right now. If this game doesn't have a horrible ending for the Twins, they'll be 5 games back.
What the Twins need to worry about is do what Detroit did. Get back to 500 and then work from there. Twins want to get back to 500. Don't worry about the teams ahead of you. Just do that as a ball club. Get back to 500.
And again, no better way to do that or time to do that than when you're playing teams within the division, which they are doing now and will be for most of the next couple of weeks. Twins with just those 2 games here against Kansas City, but this now 2-game series will be followed next weekend by 3 in Kansas City, a couple of games in Chicago, and we start playing Western teams again.
Going inside on Santana.
3-1 to the cleanup hitter. And he bends a breaking ball over to fill the count. White Sox in Detroit, they've lost 7 straight games to the Tigers. 2 hopper to Valencia. And the first 2 men score. The next 3 men are retired. And it's a 10-3 game. We'll go to the bottom of the 8th.
The bottom of the 8th inning, and we will continue our coverage after the game today with Quest Twins Live, including the Toyota postgame wrap. A look at the hit parade, which has been very welcome for the Twins here today. Plus, Brian Dunsing delivered 7 strong innings, and our instructional today is fielding the swinging bunt. We saw the power hitters from each team, Jim Thome and Travis Hafner, have a swinging bunt this afternoon, so we'll test the athleticism of the pitchers in our instructional, won't we, Bert?
Yes, we will, Marnie. Can't wait to field my position, Dick.
Well, you pick up the ball as it rolls to you, you turn and you throw to first. Is there more to it than that?
Guess we'll have to wait and find out. See a 60-year-old man trying to pick up the ball, first of all, and then throw.
Pick it up, and you have to prop him up. Strike 1 to Span. He's reached 3 times in a row, scored 3 times in a row.
Well, Justin Germano out on that mound now for the Cleveland Indians. In his 2nd season with the Indians, pretty good fastball, very good curveball, and a changeup.
Span, Repko, and Kubel will hit.
Romano's pitched for the Padres, the Philadelphia Phillies, the Cincinnati Reds, went to Japan to pitch, and now in his 2nd season back with the Indians.
So Joe Nathan warming up in the Twins pen. Will very likely get the 9th inning. Down and away, 1-2. Back. Well, Valencia's home run last inning gave the Twins some insurance, but the first 8 runs were scored without a whole lot of power, some timely hitting, and some really good base running. You know, the speed guys got on base, and then they were able to use their speed. 1-2 to Span.
Head of the Twins' way.
Hit to left center field. Sizemore gives way to the left fielder, Brantley with the catch. Well, here's what we're talking about, how the Twins opened up the first 8 runs.
Well, you can see a little hit and run put on right there. Casilla hustling. He goes over to third base. And Repko on the 2-run double. It's Repko who scores all the way from first base. That made it a 3-0 lead. Kadire stealing a base, his first of the year. And then Span taking off. He steals his second base of the year. Twins are 10 for 10 in stolen bases attempts so far.
You know, and you just got a quick shot there of Alexi Casilla smiling in the dugout. What a nice sight that is. Here's a pop-up behind third. Hanahan might have enough room to make the play. Makes the catch in foul ground. You know, Casilla's had a miserable start to the season and hasn't produced much offensively. And he gets a couple of hits today, scores a couple of runs, and the young man's able to smile about contributing to a Twins win here today.
Well, there's some other guys too that have been struggling. Hopefully they're going to be smiling too after this win, hopefully here this afternoon. So yeah, I mean, we've been kind of waiting for this type of game to happen for the Twins where, you know, tomorrow they'll remember this, you know, and say, hey, you know, we've done it once, let's do it again. It's been a while. You know, even though they say, hey, you know, Twins won 94 ball games, you don't always carry that right into the next season. It takes time.
1-1 to Kubel. Well, a dozen losses in 19 games. The losses have been hard to watch, but hey, the wins have been hard to watch. Well, they have 7 wins by a total margin of 9 runs.
You know, Danny Valencia kind of going through that sophomore jinx. You start putting, boy, is it in there, you know? You had such a good year last year, 3rd in the voting in the American League Rookie of the Year. All of a sudden, you know, you put more pressure on yourself. You expect to do better. And then when you struggle, you know, things don't always go your way.
Nishioka hoping to get back in about 3 weeks.
But you rely on guys like Kadire, Jim Thome. You feed off of them if you're a young guy, like Jason Kubel right here. He continues to swing a hot bat.
Reached 3 times. He's got a sacrifice fly. He's driven in 3. A couple of hits again today for Jason Kubel. The Twins and Rays begin a 3-game series Tuesday night. Good seats are available. During the series, the Twins' wives will be raising funds for many area charities by selling the fan favorite ball in a bag and also custom hats and totes at the Heart of Twins territory booth. Call 800-33-TWINS. Visit twinsbaseball.com today and get your tickets. Here's Morneau, 2-run single in the 5th. Down and in, ball 1. The hope, of course, is that Morneau will be able to play again tomorrow, if not at first base, perhaps as a designated hitter. Up the middle, it hits the mound, it skips into center field, and Kubel will check in at second base. I think the mound may have added a little topspin to that second hop, and it skipped over the glove of Cabrera.
Yeah, this ball was hit hard right here. You can tell by the way that Cabrera acted right here. He's already shading him up the middle, and that ball skipping in front of him, and that ball got by him. So Justin picking up his second hit of the ball game. And for the Twins, 13 hits.
Kadire Drove in a run with a ground ball, stole a base.
Dyer, the only starter to not have a hit yet. Good place to pick one up right here.
That covers the inside corner. Little on the line, 2 strikes.
Well, Germano, 28 years old, originally signed by the Padres back in 2000. A lot of times we'll see guys go to Japan, kind of revitalize their career, and then come back. And Germano had a pretty good year for the Indians last year. Got a chance to pitch again at the major league level. Made the club out of spring training.
Check swing, did he go? Strike 3. And it's a 3rd out. The strikeout ends the inning. The throw to first, although the Indians don't realize it, that's the 3rd out, right?
Yeah, but the umpire still said safe.
That's enough. We can go in now. So Kanayer's strikeout ends the inning. And the Twins will watch Joe Nathan pitch with a 7-run lead. Third-inning runs, and the Twins have led ever since, and at times comfortably led.
Yeah, put some crooked numbers on the board. That's what the Twins have been able to do. 3 in the 3rd, 3 in the 6th, and then 2 in the 6th and 7th to take that 10-3 lead. So good afternoon offensively for the Twins. Brian Dunsing looking for his 2nd win of the year. And Joe Nathan looking for a good workout right here, making his 8th appearance. Joe, I talked to Joe, you know, he's still working on that arm strength, getting that ball down, trusting that he can finish pitches.
All right, now you use that term too. Tell the fans what that means, because Gardy has said the velocity is there, 92, 93 miles per hour, but he's not finishing his pitches like he wants to.
It's that last second of releasing the ball, and it's almost like dropping your wrist really quick. And what that does, 2 good pitches down in the strike zone. That puts a little added pressure on that elbow, and of course Joe's coming off that Tommy John surgery, and it's just that, watch, you can't see it, it's too fast right there, but watch the hand at the end. That's to finish the pitches. You know, the other day he pitched, everything was up in the strike zone like that. Let's take a look at slow motion right here. Watch his right where the ball is, his right hand. Okay, when right in there, you see, that's, you want to bring that hand through the wrist. You can't throw a good curveball, you can't throw a good slider. There's a good fastball just missing inside without that little bit of pop at the end with your wrist.
Last time Joe Nathan took the mound here was in the Kansas City series, and everything seemed to be right with the world. He was 3 for 3 in save situations. A pop up near second base. Kanayer comes in. And then in the span of 48 hours, 2 blown saves in Tampa, and he took himself out of the closer's role.
You know what? And hats off to Joe Nathan. Let's take another look right here. It's that last little right there. You see the hand, the way the hand comes through. A lot of times when you're up in a zone like Joe was in his last start, you tell yourself, if you can, try to drop that fastball right on top of home plate. That means that you're finishing your pitches like that. That's a good strike. Strike one. And it'll come automatically. All of a sudden, he'll be throwing in the bullpen. He won't even think about it. All of a sudden, there it is.
1 strike to Orlando Cabrera. Tap foul. And the hope for all of this is, here we are in April, and boy, you talk about a roller coaster ride. Joe Nathan's lived it in the first 3 weeks. But the hope is that by August, he'll be a much better pitcher than he is in April.
Hey, you know, everybody that has surgery, it takes 2 good years. I mean, you know, a year plus, but, you know, this is a rebuilding year for Joe Nathan.
2 strikes to Cabrera.
Good pitch right there. That one he finished. Outstanding, great location.
It's nice to see Nathan get some strike 3s.
Whoa, boy, look at that. That's a nasty slider right there by Nathan. Now, what we're going to watch again, we're going to slow it down. And if we can stop it right there, you can see the wrist on top of the ball. And that's what you want to see. The hand on top of the ball creating that good slider down.
2 down. Last hope for the Indians is Brantley, and inside a ball. And now 2-0. We've seen Nathan, as we said, clocked as high as 93. So there's enough fastball there to get the job done, but the location is what has caused a couple of heartbreaking outings for Joe and Twins fans.
Good pitch right there. And a lot of times, too, you know, when you haven't been on that mound for a year, you want to have a tendency to rush. And right there, he stays back good, allows his arm to catch up to his body so he can work out front.
2-1 to Brantley. Crack bat and a bouncer past Sandy Alomar Jr.
Yeah, it's easier said than done because you're out there, you're a competitor. I mean, Joe has saved 250 games at the major league level, and you know he wants to so badly to get back to where he was prior to the surgery. It'll take time. But the fans up on their feet, they are happy what they've seen here this afternoon from the Twins. Starting pitching outstanding. And a lot of offense.
2-2 for Michael Brantley. And Nathan, with a 93-mile-per-hour fastball, gets his second strikeout of the inning.
Building blocks for Joe Nathan, and you just put a big block on this right here. Straight over the top, 93 miles an hour, and a good finish to this ballgame.
So a convincing win for the Twins. For the first time this year, we don't have a nail-biting win, Mike Pomerantz.
How about that? Scoring more than 6 runs a game. Finally, they nail a 10-3 your final coming up today on Quest Twins Live. We're going to talk about this hit parade. 13 hits today, and you can't forget about the great work from Brian Dunson. Back in a moment.